For anyone who designs for a living, loving your work is a prerequisite. But there is a very delicate line between possessing a healthy, harmonious passion for your craft and falling into an obsessive passion that slowly consumes your life. We operate on what researchers call a human renewal cycle, a daily rotation of sleep, work, and personal time. Historically, this cycle was protected by built-in physical limitations. For decades, the physical office served as a hard container for the work phase of that cycle. That container was reinforced by strict chronological schedules. When you clocked out, the professional day was over, and the commute operated as a forced psychological transition between your professional responsibilities and your domestic life. A hybrid work schedule and a smartphone remove those physical limits entirely. The kitchen table doubles as the drafting desk, and client emergencies easily drop right into your family group chats. A perfectly equal 50-50 split between the office and the home is a myth. To achieve mental safety today, we have to abandon that idea and become the active architects of our own structural boundaries. Look at this floor plan. We start with Zone 1, physical boundaries. When you work, eat, and relax in the exact same physical space, your different zones bleed into one another. Your brain loses the environmental cues it needs to switch off. Establishing designated workspaces solves this issue. Even if you live in a small apartment, assigning one specific chair solely for your laptop is enough to effectively signal to your brain that you are entering work mode. This physical zoning applies directly to the modern studio environment. Teams need distinct areas dedicated to quiet monotasking, partitioned away from the open areas used for active collaboration. Next is Zone 2, temporal boundaries. Without a natural start and end to the day, we have to artificially recreate boundary-crossing activities, the specific psychological actions that signal a transition between our professional and personal identities. You can artificially replace the lost commute by taking a mandatory 15-minute walk before opening your laptop in the morning, or by establishing a strict evening wind-down routine that formally closes out the day. These temporal walls also have to be built at the team level. Something as simple as adding an email footer that explicitly removes the expectation of an after-hours reply creates a layer of systemic protection. Studios can go further by defining core collaborative hours. Setting specific, limited windows for meetings protects blocks of deep focus and allows employees to safely disconnect when they are off the clock. Designing these strict physical and temporal load-bearing walls contains professional stress, preventing it from bleeding into your personal recovery time. But isolation is not always the goal. That brings us to Zone 3, psychological boundaries, where we shift from absolute separation to intentional integration. Work is a vital, meaningful component of a well-rounded life. We don't actually want to build rigid, impenetrable walls around every single aspect of our careers. Instead, we want positive overlap. The creativity and complex problem-solving skills honed during design work can actively enhance your personal hobbies and side projects. You can convert downtime into uptime by merging your passions. Listening to an educational industry podcast while you exercise or commute feeds your professional curiosity during your personal time without causing strain. Leadership plays a critical role here. When managers model empathy and recognize that an employee has diverse outside roles, as a parent, a musician, or an athlete, they cultivate a resilient designer rather than a distracted one. Psychological zoning requires knowing exactly when to seal the room for deep recovery and when to open the floor plan so your external passions can inspire your professional work. The target state here is true work-life harmony, a routine where you work fiercely and presently during your core hours, and then disconnect completely to recharge without guilt. Pouring all your energy into work while neglecting your personal well-being creates immense invisible pressure. Eventually, it leads to a catastrophic systemic failure. A sustainable workplace culture is built on psychological safety. Employees need to feel safe to say no, safe to step away, and safe to bring their full holistic selves to the studio. Take a moment to audit your own daily architecture. What specific, load-bearing boundary do you need to construct today to protect your peace? And on the flip side, what door do you need to open to let your passions overlap? Your answers will serve as the blueprint for a resilient, creative career.